So guys, one thing you don't really get in the United States are castles, okay, and you get them a lot in Germany. In England, where I live, less so. You don't find them there. There you have more like luxurious and pompous castles, okay? But here in Germany, you find these proper castle ruins from, like this one, from the 1500s roughly, that were built for war, okay? These were castles that were built for siege. And you can see behind me and everywhere around me really, we are way up on a mountain, okay? It's a pretty high hill. And where I'm standing right now, this is where soldiers would be standing, right? And they would be looking into these valleys underneath, and they would be defending for any incoming soldiers and knights, and they would be fighting off these soldiers and armies that would try to take over these castles. Now, we are up here where there would be probably like, I don't know, like a dining room or something. You can see a little bit, there's like a wall behind me, which probably was a wall. And then you get these indentations that come off the walls. Try to show you guys what I mean. It's very interesting. See those up there? These small protruding parts, they are over here. They go all the way to the end of this wall. And they're the same on this side of the wall. And they would be like laying beams over that, like big wooden beams, and pull a ceiling over here. So there would be a ceiling above us, okay? And you can kind of see, don't know if you can see it, but in these little nooks up there, these nooks and the little crannies there, you have seating there, right? So people would be able to sit there because there would be a floor right underneath. And then on the top, there would actually be a third floor on top of this. So this is the very top of the castle where, you know, the rich knights and everyone would be sitting and dining and having a great time. Well, we're going to go a little bit deeper. So let me show you guys a little bit. So again, you have this seating here where people would be able to sit. And I'll quickly switch to first person so you guys get an idea. Like, look at that view, right? Absolutely gorgeous. Oops, I just switched the light over a little bit so you can see it, right? And again, and this is not something what I would do with my face, but it's going down. It's going down very, very steeply. So that's what we're going to do. Again, we're starting kind of backwards. We're starting on the top of the castle, and now I'm going to go down, all right? So follow me down into the belly of the castle. I'm going to show you a few rooms. Everywhere you have like these footpaths. This one is kind of flooded with rainwater, so we can't go there right now. But let's keep walking down because I want to show you guys something else that's really, really interesting, especially if you're into, I don't know, middle-age video games and stuff. Like, this is literally that kind of world brought to life. So this, what you see here, would have been the weapons room, okay? So they would probably be storing ammunition in this room. It's not very tall. And what's cool about this castle specifically is it's a mixture between real stone. It's built on like a rocky hill. So what you see here, this wall is just real rock. It's a rock wall. And then what you see behind me is an artificial wall, okay? So that is like just brickwork that they would have built at the time, and they would be storing ammunition and weapons in this room. This would have been the weapons room. Now obviously, like stuff like the floor, all that thing, this has been reconstructed, right? It's not the real floor from that time. But let's keep going down, okay? I'll try to get you guys behind me so you get a bit of another view. So this room, you can't really go into it, but you get the idea, right? It's another small chamber. Now, what I want to do is I want to take you guys to the entrance of this castle, because that's really fascinating how they would have behaved when this castle would have been under siege, okay? And again, enjoy the view behind me over there, okay? I haven't encountered any ghosts. I know you guys will probably ask me, any ghosts? Did you see any ghosts on this castle? Haven't seen any, but that might be due to it being like just a real hot sunny day today. So I don't think the ghosts would come out. It might be too hot for them. But being here at night, not gonna lie, I would love to spend a night here. That would be fun. So over here, entrance gate, okay? Entrance gate of the castle, and you see above, tower, defense tower, just above the entrance. Now let me break this down for you guys how this works. This is super, super fascinating. So the front entrance gate you see there, that's been reconstructed, right? So you would be coming in here, then on the right-hand side, there's a small room, and you can't see anything. It's really just black. But it's like a big rotunda. It's a round room where you would park your horses. It's basically a horse parking garage. So you would come in here, park your horse, and then go into the castle. But if you would be coming in here as an enemy, right, as someone who wants to put this castle under siege, you would be fighting your way through this gate, right? Then here, what you see here in this arch above me would be a second gate, like another wooden door, like a solid wooden door. People would then be, the sieging army would be stuck in this little room here, right? They would be stuck between that door, if they breach that, and the second door. So then they would be putting, like you see these indentations here in the wall, this one, and on the other side here. So they would be putting like wooden beams in there to secure this gate, right? So nobody can come through here. You can imagine how much force it would take if it's a big wooden door, reinforced with these beams, hard to get through. And then what they do, as these sieging soldiers would be caught in this little room, they would be pouring hot oil, fire, and everything what they could that would do harm, hot tar, through these holes up there in the ceiling, right? So the soldiers would be stuck in this little room, bombarded with boiling oil and tar from above, trying to siege through the second gate, right? So you can imagine what a brute force experience that must have been. Absolutely insane. So if they then made it past the second gate, which you just saw, they would then come over here to this third gate. Okay, so there would be a third gate here in this archway. So this is a smaller door. And again, you can see the indentations in the wall. They would be reinforcing that gate as well, so nobody can come through. But then if you make it through that second gate, then you, or third gate, quite literally, then you would make it into the actual castle. And again, very cool. You can kind of see behind me the mixture of artificial structures, right? Structures that they would have built using bricks and natural stonework. So very, very beautiful. Most of it is old. Some of it obviously has been reconstructed to kind of tell the story, but most of it is actual old rock from the 1500s. And we're just going to walk out, and I'll keep talking to you guys, because there was this famous story where they kidnapped a famous duke, right? A duke was kidnapped, and he was kept in this specific castle for, I think, 22 weeks. So then this other guy was like, all right, you know, I think he had to pay like 5,000 gold pieces to free him. So he paid those 5,000 gold pieces to free this guy who was kept in this castle for 22 weeks. Then he was freed, and then the guy went to the church, to like some kind of priest, pastor kind of guy, and said, dude, I freed this guy who's part of your gang, you should pay me my 5,000 gold pieces back, which he refused, okay? So that was the guy who paid it, who kind of, I don't know, he was part of this castle, owning the castle. So then he basically started a war with this pastor, because the pastor did not want to pay him his 5,000 gold pieces back. And then ultimately the pastor tried to siege this castle. The pastor activated all his knights and army. They sieged this castle in 1522 or something. And because his army was so big, the guy who started the war with the pastor then offered him the castle for free and said, all right, bro, I don't want to fight. I don't want you to kill all the soldiers I have. Just take the castle. Okay, it's yours. So he surrendered himself, gave up the castle. And then I think 30 years later, he got it back, like because his family built it or something like this. Also cool, you see behind me this big wheel. Now this is not a water wheel, obviously you can see. We're on top of a mountain, okay? There's no water up here. So this is not a water wheel. This is a wheel that people would be walking inside, and it would basically be like a crane to transport the rocks that we see on the top up to the top of the hill so they could build these rooms up there, okay? I can show you guys. Go a bit closer, let me turn this around. Right, so you can actually see, like this is the running wheel, right? Like a big hamster wheel for humans, right? So humans would be walking in here. You see the rope here that would be going up to some kind of noose to the top of the hill, right? And then they would be transporting the rocks to the top one by one, and that's how they built these very, very impressive structures. So that's basically it. I'm not going to take more of your time. I just thought it's really interesting. Also, I mean, the view is absolutely gorgeous, right? It's absolutely magnificent. So that's it. Just want to share this story with you guys. There's a lot more. It's a huge castle. It's very cool because it has this verticality. Everything that's at the bottom of this castle is basically built around the idea of war. The lower levels is all about, you know, shooting, sieging. Like down there, you see the little towers, you know, that would be built just to have host cannons in there, right, to defend it towards this direction. And then the higher you go on the top, what you saw earlier, that's where then the rich folk would be dining and hanging out, right? So interesting story. I hope you guys enjoyed this little breakdown of this little castle. Did I say the name of it? I may have not. I'll put some details about it in the description and probably in the title of the video as well. So it's a little tour of this impressive 1500s castle. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you did, smash the like button, all right? I'll do more vlogs from my travels. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one, all right? You guys take care. I'm out. Bye.